When I was in training, which seemed like it took forever, even though it was only 6 years out of medical school, we would meet every evening that we were on call, and we were on call every other night, in the dining room of the hospital, of the medical school, of the hospital, really. And we would swap stories about the most interesting, fascinating patients that we had seen over the course of, let's say, the last week or so. And over a period of 6 years, you hear a lot of very interesting stories. And what I didn't know was that that would become the pattern for my clinical life, that every time I get together with a few colleagues, we would end up telling a story of an unusual case, an unusual disease, an unusual person. And I was struck over the years, I was in practice for 30 years, I was struck over the years that inevitably, even though the notion was to talk about the unusual disease, what we ended up talking about was the person herself or himself, and how we related to that person, because to doctors of our generation, the doctor-patient relationship was kind of the ultimate thing. We'd all gone into medicine because we liked science and, we liked the thought of disease, but you can't be in it for very long before you realize that if these diseases were disembodied, you'd have no interest in them whatsoever. That all has to do with a particular way it manifests itself in that person. So I have always wanted to take these stories, or at least the ones that I thought were the most interesting, and make a book out of them. And that's what I've done. So I thought I ought to have a format in which to do it, and everybody's read the Canterbury Tales. Everybody hasn't read the whole Canterbury Tales, but So I named my theoretical hospital the Canterbury Hospital, Canterbury Medical School, and every one of the people who told a tale had his title capitalized. So there's the neurosurgeon's tale and the pediatrician's tale and the geriatrician's tale and the general practitioner's tale, and there are about 20 of them in this book, and I'm the narrator for all of them. The first tale is my own tale, actually, the surgeon's tale, or a surgeon's tale. And I found as I told the tale that it was never enough just to tell the story, that sometimes there was an interesting historical background. So you could tell about the history of medicine. There were ethical issues with many of these patients, and so I tackled those ethical issues. So it's a mélange of different kinds of stories, all told by the doctor who told them to me. And of course, for confidentiality, I've disguised these doctors in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways so that they are recognizable only to the patients themselves and the doctors themselves and people who knew them very well. And I have now read this book in galleys, and I really love it, Don.